We have been sold a dangerous lie. We are told that to succeed, to achieve, to be productive, we must sacrifice sleep. But every hour of sleep we lose is an hour we steal from our own health. The link between sleep loss and illness is not a vague possibility. It is a stark, scientific certainty. Consider this sobering fact. Just one night of sleeping only 4 to 5 hours can reduce the activity of your natural killer cells by a staggering 70%. These cells are your body's elite agents. They are tasked with identifying and destroying dangerous invaders, like viruses, cancerous cells. This is not a small change. It is a catastrophic drop in your immune surveillance, leaving you profoundly vulnerable. In our modern world, we face new health threats and old health threats. Understanding this connection is not just important, it is a matter of survival. The urgency of this message has never been greater. We live in a society that glorifies busyness and treats sleep as a luxury rather than a biological necessity. This cultural mindset has created a silent pandemic of sleep deprivation, weakening our collective resilience. When you choose to stay up late to finish one more email or watch one more episode, you are making an active decision to disarm your immune system. Imagine preparing for a battle by sending a significant portion of your army home. That is precisely what you do to your body with each night of insufficient sleep. The consequences are immediate and measurable, making you more susceptible to common infections, like the flu, the common cold. The next time you feel a cold coming on, ask yourself not just what you were exposed to, but how well you were sleeping in the days prior. To understand why sleep loss is so damaging, we must first appreciate what happens during a healthy night of sleep. Think of your immune system as a highly sophisticated army, and sleep as its essential training and rearmament phase. While you are in deep slumber, your body is a hive of activity. It is manufacturing and releasing a host of powerful immune factors. Among the most important of these are proteins called cytokines. Certain types of cytokines act as messengers, signaling to immune cells where an infection is located and telling them to attack. Sleep is the prime time for the production of these infection-fighting cytokines. When you cut your sleep short, you are cutting this vital production line, leaving your immune army without clear orders and sufficient firepower. During the different stages of sleep, your body performs specific immune-related tasks. In the deeper stages of non-REM sleep, your body focuses on repair and fortification. It is during this time that the immune system consolidates its memory, a process we will explore later. It also reduces levels of inflammation from the day's activities, giving your system a chance to reset. Your body also uses this time to redistribute key immune cells, moving them from the bloodstream into your tissues and lymph nodes. This is a crucial surveillance mission, allowing these cells to patrol your body for any signs of trouble. Without this nightly patrol, pathogens can gain a foothold more easily, starting an infection before your immune system is even aware of the threat. Another critical component of your immune army is a group of white blood cells known as T cells. These cells are essential for recognizing and killing cells that have been infected by a virus. Research has shown that sleep profoundly improves the ability of T cells to function. Specifically, sleep helps T cells stick to and destroy their targets. In one remarkable study, scientists found that just a few hours of sleep deprivation significantly reduced the ability of T cells to adhere to their targets. It is like having soldiers on the battlefield who cannot properly aim their weapons. A full night of sleep ensures your T cells are not just present, but are primed and ready for effective combat. The intricate dance between sleep and immunity is regulated by your body's internal 24-hour clock, known as the circadian rhythm. This internal clock governs the rise and fall of various hormones and cellular activities, including those of the immune system. For example, the activity of certain immune cells naturally peaks at night, coinciding with your sleep period, to take advantage of this restorative state. When you disrupt your sleep schedule, you are throwing this finely tuned rhythm into chaos. Let us delve deeper into the role of a particularly important type of immune cell, the natural killer cell, or NK cell. These cells are a critical part of your innate immune system, your body's first and immediate line of defense against threats. Think of them as the vigilant sentinels patrolling the walls of your kingdom. Their primary job is to identify cells infected with a virus, and to eliminate cells that have turned cancerous. They do this without needing prior instruction, making them swift and effective responders. Their ability to seek and to destroy these rogue cells is one of the most powerful tools your body has to prevent illness. A healthy, robust population of NK cells is essential for daily immune surveillance. The impact of sleep deprivation on these crucial cells is both swift and devastating. Even a single night of restricted sleep can cause a dramatic reduction in NK cell activity. Imagine a security force that suddenly becomes 70% less effective at spotting and at neutralizing threats. Intruders that would normally be caught are now able to slip through the defenses, multiply, and establish an infection or, over the long term, a tumor. This is not a theoretical risk. The link between poor sleep, reduced NK cell function, and an increased risk of certain cancers is a growing area of scientific concern. Inflammation is a natural and necessary part of the immune response. When you get a cut, you see redness and swelling, signs of inflammation. This is acute inflammation, a good thing. But there's another type, chronic, low-grade inflammation. Your immune system stays in a low-alert state, simmering in the background. This chronic inflammation is destructive over time. It contributes to major chronic diseases, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, depression. Sleep loss is a powerful trigger for this harmful inflammation. Not getting enough sleep feels like stress to the body. The body activates a fight-or-flight response, releasing stress hormones and pro-inflammatory molecules. One bad night can spike inflammatory markers in your blood the next day. If repeated, your body gets stuck in a pro-inflammatory state. It's like an engine running in the red zone. Eventually parts start to break down. Chronic inflammation strains the cardiovascular system, damages the lining of blood vessels, and disrupts how the body processes sugar. Scientific research now firmly links sleep loss with inflammation. Sleep deprivation studies show consistent increases in inflammatory proteins. Heightened inflammation helps explain why you feel so unwell after poor sleep, fatigue, body aches, lack of motivation. That sick, tired feeling is partly your own inflammatory response. Over time, chronic inflammation wears down the body and creates a vicious cycle. Inflammation itself disrupts sleep architecture, making restorative sleep harder to get. Vaccines are one of the greatest triumphs of modern medicine, training our immune systems to recognize and fight off specific diseases without us having to suffer through the illness itself. A vaccine introduces a harmless piece of a pathogen. Your immune system produces antibodies, and their number determines protection. Studies show sleep deprivation can significantly blunt your immune response to a vaccination. The sleep-deprived group produced less than half the antibodies. Prioritize deep, sufficient sleep, 7 to 9 hours, before and after vaccination to maximize protection. Think of sleep as part of the vaccination protocol. Your brain is not the only system in your body that has a memory. Your immune system also possesses a remarkable and long-lasting memory, which is the very foundation of immunity and vaccination. When you are first exposed to a new pathogen, your immune system fights it off, and, in the process, creates specialized memory cells, memory B cells, memory T cells. These cells retain the blueprint of the invader. If it returns years later, they quickly recognize and neutralize the threat. Sleep is absolutely essential for the formation of this vital memory. Think of your immune system and your brain's memory system as two students studying for an important exam. During the day, they gather new information. At night, during sleep, they consolidate it into long-term memory. Sleep enhances the creation of strong, lasting memory T cells, aided by low stress hormones and high growth hormones. Without sleep, this memory formation is weak and inefficient, leaving you vulnerable to reinfection. The connection between sleep and immunity is not solely about cells and proteins. When you are tired, your brain's prefrontal cortex is one of the first areas to suffer. This leads to poor decision-making. Ghrelin rises, leptin fall, driving cravings for high-sugar, high-fat, processed foods that promote inflammation. Exhaustion kills motivation to move, performance suffers, and injury risk rises, robbing you of exercise's immune benefits. We reach for excessive caffeine and alcohol. Caffeine delays sleep. Alcohol fragments it, especially REM, compounding the problem. These behaviors, driven by the desperation of fatigue, act as additional stressors on the body, placing an even greater burden on an already weakened immune system. Understanding the dangers of sleep loss is the first step. Taking action is the second. The good news is that you have the power to improve your sleep and fortify your immune system. It doesn't require expensive equipment or drastic lifestyle changes. It begins with deciding to prioritize sleep as a non-negotiable foundation of your health. The key is consistency. Here are 8 practical, evidence-based steps you can start tonight. Start with 1 or 2 that seem manageable, and build from there. Small, Consistent changes beat grand, short-lived overhauls. First, establish a regular sleep schedule. This is the single most important tip. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even weekends. Avoid long weekend sleep-ins. They cause social jet lag. Second, create a sleep sanctuary. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet. Around 18 degrees Celsius or 65 degrees Fahrenheit helps initiate sleep. Use blackout curtains, an eye mask, and cover light from electronics. Light signals your brain to be awake. Minimize noise with earplugs or use a white noise machine. Third, manage your light exposure. Get 15 to 30 minutes of natural sunlight early. Avoid bright, especially blue, light 1 to 2 hours before bed. If you must use screens, enable night mode or wear blue light blocking glasses. Reading a physical book under a dim warm light is better. Sleep is the foundation upon which diet and exercise rest. Without it, hormonal balance and recovery are undermined, and your immune system suffers. Protecting your sleep is one of the most powerful and proactive steps you can take to protect your health. We have journeyed through the science of sleep and immunity, and the conclusion is inescapable. Sleep is not a passive state of rest. It is an active and powerful process of immunological rejuvenation. The frightening truth is failing to get sufficient sleep, even for a single night, cripples your body's most critical defenses. It disarms your natural killer cells, promotes a destructive state of chronic inflammation, and can even render a vaccine less effective. In our relentless 24/7 world, we view sleep as an enemy of productivity, but it is our most steadfast ally. We must abandon the foolish bravado of surviving on little sleep, and instead embrace the wisdom of prioritizing our rest. The path to better health does not have to be complex. You can begin to rebuild your immune fortress tonight. Start by setting a consistent bedtime. Create a cool, dark, quiet environment. Power down your screens an hour before sleep. These are not trivial life hacks. They are essential acts of self-care with profound physiological benefits. Remember, your body is a house, and sleep is the nightly repair crew. Keep that crew on a reliable schedule to maintain your home. This is not a message of fear but one of empowerment. In a world of complicated, expensive, out-of-reach advice, sleeping is democratic and accessible. It costs nothing but time and commitment. Do not wait until you are sick. Start now. Protect your sleep as if your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Let this be your call to action. Take your sleep seriously. Champion it. Defend it from the demands of modern life. Every full night of sleep is a victory for your immune system, sharpening your defenses and preparing you for the challenges ahead. Make sleep your superpower. Wake up to a stronger, healthier, more resilient you. Your immune system will thank you for it.